So Gaza Nation, I'm ready. Are you ready? Tomorrow is the highly anticipated case for incarcerated dancehall mogul, dancehall artist, convicted wrongfully, Vybz Kartel. Now, the defense team of Vybz Kartel indicates that they are in good stead for Vybz Kartel's appeal. To be in good stead simply means that they have all the right information they think they needed to accumulate over a period of time to go stand in front of a judge with lawyers to counter the conviction that was meted out. The appeal hearing for dancehall sensation Vybz Kartel, who was convicted of murder along with 3 of his associates in 2014, is scheduled to begin on Monday in the Court of Appeal. Lawyers for all 4 appellants are primed to attempt to bore holes in the convictions of their clients, and numbered among them is prominent attorney Bert Samuels. There are 4 appellants, and my firm is representing Sean Campbell, said Samuels on Sunday in relation to his client, who is better known as recording artist Sean Storm. My team of attorneys will be arguing that fresh evidence should be admitted in the case. We are a team working for all 4 appellants, and we believe that there is sufficient grounds of appeal that will spur the Court of Appeal to look seriously at the matter, outlined, Samuels told the news. The grounds of appeal span between the judge being biased, the accused Sean Campbell not being present for the composition of the jury, and also being denied the right of hearing and right to be represented when material evidence was being presented against him, Samuels added. He pointed to key cell site evidence as a major point which could have swung the case in the appellant's favor. The main witness of fact actually said 2 different things. One statement said that he got to Swallowfield Avenue at 5:30 p.m. and then to the police he said he got there at 8 p.m. in the night. And we have cell site evidence that shows that Williams, rather than being at Swallowfield Avenue, was in St. Catherine at the time he was allegedly being assaulted. The cell site evidence proves that way after 7, the deceased was still in St. Catherine. That is scientific evidence, Samuel said. In April, an all-star legal team filed supplementary grounds and skeleton arguments in the Court of Appeal in downtown Kingston to have the 2014 murder convictions overturned. The team, comprising attorneys Tom Tavares Vinson, Valeronita Robinson, and Bert Samuels, reportedly raised a dozen questions why the appellants should be freed. The documents submitted by the attorneys outlined what has been described as a litany of errors that were supposedly made by the trial judge, Justice Lennox Campbell, which were said to have led to the convictions. Samuel suggested that the judge's bias came out through inadequate directions to the jury in respect to the law of interference or in applying the law relating to it, which the attorney said it denied the jury appropriate tools to ensure a fair trial and balanced assessment of the case. He argued that this was an abrogation of established principles designed to protect the rights of citizens on trial. Justice Campbell did not remind the jury of the cell site evidence. He should have reminded them of what we lawyers call exclusionary evidence and how the cell site evidence proved that the main witness testimony claimed that Williams was at Swallowfield Avenue where men were supposed to be killing him at the time he was in St. Catherine. Come on, Samuel said. Exclusionary evidence is said to be a rule of evidence that excludes or suppresses evidence obtained in violation of a defendant's constitutional rights. Samuels also raised other general issues with what he cited as contaminated cell phone evidence that was allowed at the trial, along with what he viewed as prejudicial video evidence that was also allowed. The attorney said the judge erred when he did not allow Sean Campbell to be present when key material evidence crucial to the case was being presented. Whenever evidence that is material to the case is being presented, the accused must be present. He was not invited by the judge to be present, and the judge is responsible for the fairness of a trial, as laid out under Section 16 of the Charter of Fundamental Rights, that the accused should be entitled to examine evidence that deals with the determination of guilt, he said. Section 16 of the Charter of Fundamental Rights and Freedom reads, "Every person charged with a criminal offense shall be entitled to examine or have examined at his trial witnesses against him, and to obtain the attendance and examination of witnesses on his behalf under the same conditions as witnesses against him." The lawyers also believe that the sentence was manifestly excessive and that the trial judge made errors which amounted to serious constitutional breaches. Kartel, whose given name is Adisha Palmer, is currently serving a life sentence for the murder of Clive Lizard Williams outside of his appeal prospects. He will be eligible for parole after serving 35 years. He is presently at St. Catherine District Prison in Spanish Town. Kartel and Sean Storm were convicted along with co-accused Kyra Jones and Andrew St. John. All received life sentences. St. John is to do 30 years before being considered for parole, while Jones and Campbell are to serve 25 years before they will be eligible for parole consideration. So I've read this data in its entirety, and I'm getting a couple things from this. There are a number of areas that were lacking, as you hear from this document I've read. Over 10 elements were not manifested or presented in court. Now, that being said, there simply means that what we the public have been hearing about certain key areas, like the cell phone being tampered with, the evidence being destroyed, persons being coerced into giving a convicted or a conviction, there's so many other areas that still needs to be looked at. One of the things that we also need to understand, that even though the case begins tomorrow, it doesn't mean that it ends tomorrow. Tomorrow is first date of the retrial that needs to begin. So tomorrow they'll go in court, and it will progress in the news as you know, and we will find out more information about it. So it's not that Kartel goes to court tomorrow and he gets released. It's not going to happen like that. There has to be due diligence. There has to be normal proceedings in the court of law. The judge will hear the various parties' comments and feedback, and the relevant personnel who need to come in and give their witnesses or the retrials in various areas. So it is just not a process that's going to be over tomorrow, but at least it's the beginning of a start of a outer road, me say, campaign. The long and short of it is, people, as always, we just have to be keeping a prayer in our heart, being mindful. Let us stay in good behavior, good standards, because right now this is what they're looking for. They're looking for people to lash out, people to behave badly, and people to just be unconscious of the fact that, listen, this man has been wrongfully accused. He's been in prison for so long, so we are not going to do anything to taint or tarnish what needs to go through the normal courts of appeal. Now, we can only pray and keep our artist in our thoughts and the co-accused, and with God's help and everything working out the way it's supposed to be, we can hope for a conviction or even a reduction in sentencing rather. Let me know your thoughts below. How do you feel about this? Are you excited? Are you even more excited that it's closer to the date right now? Just let's have a general discussion below. If you've not subscribed to this channel, please do so. Click the subscription icon below to comment, like, and share this video. Have a good evening, peeps. You know we had to come and talk about this. Vybz Kartel, the greatest that dancehall ever saw, in my books and in the books of many others. Hopefully, it's God's wishes, he will be out very soon. Look after yourselves.
You know what a picture, me a video him.